Have you ever had a time in your life where God just didn't seem to make sense? And maybe you're even going through a rough patch right now. Maybe you kind of feel like you're down in the valley. I am here to say to you today that I am in that valley right now myself. And I'm going to talk about it. My name is Larry Pruitt. Sue and I have been entrepreneurs for 21 years. We knew that being entrepreneurs was risky. We took it to a whole nother level about almost 13 years ago now, when we went full time with this, with our business, with this entrepreneurial journey. And during these 13 years, there's been a lot of highs, there's been a lot of lows, a lot of mountaintops, a lot of valleys, a lot of challenges that we have gone through. There's even been, there was one other time back in 2018 that I took a full-time temporary job that the Lord used that to provide for us for several months. And so we have done that. We've been open to taking on other income sources and doing various things, whatever we had to do to make ends meet. And the Lord has always provided. I want to be really clear about that. But back earlier this year, at the time of this recording, it's December of 2025. Earlier this year in April, we sold off a big portion of our business, our primary revenue generating portion of our business. That was a huge leap of faith for us to make this massive pivot in our business 12 plus years into it being full time, because we really felt like the Lord was calling us into this marriage and business coaching. And we work with married entrepreneurs. We help couples to solidify their marriage relationship, to make sure that they are on the same page together, that they've got their roles figured out, that they are going down the correct pathway together. They have the same vision, the same dream, the same goals. And we find so much joy in doing that. We could see how over the decades that the Lord has been providing us, preparing us for this work. And so it is exciting to do the work. And we've been able to have the opportunity to work with some couples. It has been a fantastic experience. And we really feel the reward of being able to help some couples along the way. But it has not gone the way that we thought it was going to go. Not that we necessarily just thought people were going to be knocking down our door and we weren't going to have to do a lot of work to get the message out and such. But we have done a lot of work to get the message out, and we have not had enough clients, not enough to make this a sustainable business. And so along this way, it has been confusing, to be honest with you. It has been perplexing. There's been times where we have just gotten on our knees and called out to the Lord and said, we don't understand why it doesn't look like you're blessing this business. Well, we've shared this story with some people privately, one-on-one, and we have been encouraged to come out and to share this with the world, so to speak. One of the reasons why Sue is not by my side here is because we have had to make some major pivots with our financial life, and Sue and I have each taken on a part-time job right now. That is not what we planned on doing. It's not what we desired to do. Sue's hours are crazy, and we're kind of passing in the night a little bit right now. That's created some additional challenges that we have been working on navigating our way through. And most podcasts that you listen to, it's the person who has arrived and they've gotten on the other side. And that is encouraging. That's helpful because they can share, like, here's what I did to get through these valleys. Here's what I did to cross this bridge. But I don't hear very often people coming out and saying, like, look, I am in the valley right now. And that's what I'm saying to you here today. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how the Lord is going to provide. We do trust the Lord, and we do know that He will provide. We just don't know how. And we certainly don't know when. There was a podcast episode I was listening to. It was helpful and it was encouraging. But along the way, the podcast host was talking about, all you business owners out there that are just struggling to get from a 7-figure business to an 8-figure business. I feel for you. I remember those days. And at the moment, I just kind of chuckled to myself and I thought, what about somebody who's who is at that 3-level business and they want to get to a 4-level, so up to where they're making $1,000 a month? What about the people who want to get from the 5,000 mark to the 10,000 mark? So you want to get your 5-digit business. Those are the steps that I think people skip over way too often. And so because other people have encouraged us to do this, we're going to try to be very transparent, very open, very honest, and just real with you. If you are in the midst of this, we'd love to hear from you because we want to pray for you. We want to encourage you. We want to help you. If you are on the other side and you've got any words of encouragement for us, please share them, because I've got a feeling other people are going to be tuning in who could really use that help just as much as what we can. And I love the prophet Habakkuk. It's only 3 chapters long. It is so impactful, though, whenever you see like what the message is. Habakkuk was a prophet of God. He was doing God's work. He was speaking to the people of Israel on behalf of God. And we see here at the beginning, chapter 1, verse 2, and then into verse 3, he says, "O Lord, how long shall I cry for help, and you will not hear?" He's saying, how long do I have to keep going through this? And of course, this was at the time that Israel was really struggling, and there were all kinds of bad things going on. And he gets into the details on that, and he's crying out to God. And he says, God, you're not even hearing me. That's what I was saying earlier about you feel like your prayers aren't even going beyond the ceiling. Like nobody is hearing this. God is not hearing it. And he's saying, how long? Or how long do I need to cry to you violence and you will not save? God, I'm telling you how bad things are, and you're not delivering me from that. Verse 3 there, it says, why do you make me see iniquity? And why do you idly look at wrong? That's many times what it feels like when you're in that valley, when you're in the difficult situation. You think God is just being idle here. He's not really even paying attention. And of course, that's not true, but that's what it feels like. And so we can definitely relate to those verses. So Habakkuk, though, through the series of this book, he comes down to the end, and he gives us one of the greatest challenges and encouragements for somebody who's going through difficult times of how to handle it. He says this, chapter 3, verse 17, though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food, the flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls. No matter how bad things get, no food, no production, no money, no possessions, no matter how bad it gets, he says this, yet will I rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. So people, as you're listening here today, just remember, if you are a believer in Jesus Christ, that he is the God of your salvation, and you can take joy in him, even in the really bad moments, in the bad situations. I'm preaching it myself, and I'm laying it out there for you as well. So we just want to encourage you to please join us in this journey. Like this, follow, subscribe, whatever you need to do there so that you can get notified when we come up with new episodes. And let's see what the Lord is going to do together. Well, thanks for joining me here today. Thanks for listening to this. Hope that it's been helpful. And I just want to encourage you to take the information that you've learned here today and go build your dream business side by side. Take care, everybody.